Hello guys, welcome back. This is Miss Farah over here. Long time no see. How are you guys feeling today? I hope that you guys are doing well. This is Miss Farah over here, and you guys are here for ENL1110 Business Communication. Now, in this very short recording, I would like to do a replacement class from our class in week 11. I know it's like a very long overdue video, however, and I also want to take this opportunity to apologize to you guys for not being able to prepare this video for so long. Okay, so I apologize for that for this long overdue video. However, I promise you it's going to be very straightforward and very short. So welcome back to ENL1110 Business Communication. What we're going to do in this short video is that I'm going to teach you about context clues. Now, when we talk about context clue, it's basically reading or knowing some clues in your reading into getting to know some information about a certain word that you might not know. Okay, so in order for you to get your attendance taken for week 11, what I want you guys to do is that you have to do two things. The first one is to complete the viewing of this video. So you're going to have to watch this video until the end. And number two, I need you to answer a very simple Blackboard questions. Now, at the end of this short video, I shall be providing you guys with a couple questions, and I need you guys to tell me and type me the answers on in a discussion board in Blackboard. Okay, so please try and do that. Once you have completed both tasks, then only I'm going to consider you guys as attended the lesson in week 11. All right. So, what we're going to learn today is what we call as context clue. Now, when would you need to know about context clue? So, context clue is when you want to guess the meaning of a word that you might not be familiar with, a word that you don't know what it means. So, when you read books, okay, so when you go to bookstore or when you go and read somewhere, even newspaper, there could be some possible words or phrases that you do not know, and it's completely normal because English is not our first language. Even if English is our first language, there will always be new words that you might not know, and that could be that possibility as well. So, in order for you or knowing context clues, you will be able to know or to understand a few clues that might help you to know the meaning of the word that you don't know. Now, these words, as I mentioned, are what we called as context clues. Now, once you're able to understand and to know and to learn about these clues, you will be able to, save a trip to the dictionary, and you don't have to refer to the dictionary or you don't have to Google the meanings of it because you will be able to know the meaning already. So this is very good, and this is especially very good when you encounter this problem in an examination. Okay, so there could be a possibility when you read the question paper and you don't know what it means. Sometimes the clues are in the question or in the article itself. Not only that, by understanding context clue, you'll be able to increase your vocabulary and improve your reading comprehension overall. So when I talk about reading comprehension, we wanted to shorten, or we want to make sure that we be able to understand the text or the reading within a certain period of time. So you'll be able to, cut your time. Rather than looking at the dictionary, you'll be able to instantly know the meaning of the word. So this is amazing, right? Okay, so for context clues, there are different types of context clues that are available in the reading itself. So these include providing definition, restatement or synonym of the word. We can have contrast or antonym. we can have comparison, we can have examples, we can have lists or series, we can have cause and effect, we can also have description or inferences. Okay, so we have 8 different types. Now let's move into the first type, that is the definition itself. Now, definition is when you would have the meaning of the word or similar meaning, okay, in the context itself that is being equated or similar meaning being said over here. Let me give an example. Entomology is the study of insects. Hell, I don't know what entomology is. So it's always good for you to write, or when you're writing, or even when there is a reading itself. Sometimes the word or the terminology that perhaps people do not understand what it means would be entailed or would be followed with certain definitions that is given in the text itself. So let me, like this example over here, entomology is the study of insects. So it's very direct and it's very there. And you would instantly know that entomology, the meaning of it is actually the study of insects. Or archaeology is the scientific study of prehistoric culture by excavation of their remains. So this could be very, very helpful, especially when you're writing an essay and you cannot assume that everybody knows certain terminologies or certain words. So it's always good for you to actually mention the definition in your writing itself. Like example over here, archaeology is the study or scientific study of prehistoric culture by excavation of their remains. Now let's go into the second type, that is restatement or synonyms. Sometimes when you don't know a word or when you want to make sure that people understand what you mean by a word, you can also give them a synonym. So a synonym usually would be followed or would have a few linguistic features. Now these linguistic features are what I call as commas, dashes, or parentheses. Or sometimes it would be followed by words like sometimes, that is, or in other words. Okay, let me give you an example. Meat eaters that are carnivores are on top of the food chain. So the word carnivore over here could probably be a terminology or a word that people do not know. Some people do not know the meanings of carnivore. So in order for you to make sure that they understand the meaning of carnivores, you give them the restatement or the synonym in front, or maybe somewhere in the sentence itself. So you can say meat eaters, that is the synonym of carnivores. And as you can see here, that R is actually a linguistic clue to go back again, the definition or the restatement of synonym with the word that you want to refer to. Or on top of the food chain is basically the rest of the sentences. You see how we did here? Sometimes when you're writing and you have some unfamiliar words and you want to make sure that people understand what you mean by certain words, you can also give them some restatement or synonyms in the sentence itself. Or another example over here, we have the goslings. So maybe you don't know the meaning of the goslings. So you ask people or you give people the meanings of goslings in the same sentence itself. So you say the goslings, those fuzzy baby geese, waddle after their mother. Okay, so gosling here means fuzzy baby geese. Okay, or she enjoyed biology, and then in bracket, the study of living things. Okay, so these could be some of the ways for you to give meanings or to make people understand certain words that you use in your writing or when you are reading anything. And sometimes you don't know what it means. Very often, the author or the writer would help you to understand the meaning of the word by providing these examples. Okay. Moving on, we have here contrast or antonym. So basically, just now we talk about how you can provide more information or more detail about the meaning of unfamiliar words using synonyms. Now, on the other hand, we have here antonym. So antonym basically means the opposite of something. Okay, so when you want to do this, you might want to include words like but, however, although, otherwise, unless, instead, on the contrary, on the other hand, while, never, no, or not, to signal that it's the other way around or it's the contrast. So let's have a look at example over here. Mike's parrot is loquacious, but Maria says very little. So what we can see here, we have two contrasting things over here. We have the first one that is Mike's parrot, and another one we have Maria's parrot. So we have two different parrots. I'm pretty sure you guys know parrot. It's the bird that imitates sounds. So we're saying that we have here a very bombastic word that is loquacious. And we don't know the meaning of this word. However, we can see that there is a contrasting meaning because of the word but. Okay, so we know that we're comparing between Mike's parrot and also Maria's parrot. So Maria's parrot says very little. So we know the meaning of loquacious means that it says a lot of things. It's very chatty. Okay, do you see how you do that? So you can compare two things. Okay, and in order for you to compare two things, or in order for you to get the meaning of one thing, you can make comparison by providing easier example that is opposite, just like this example over here. Now let's move to comparison. So when you want to write a word, or if you encounter unfamiliar words, sometimes the author or the writer would tend to compare with something that is similar to it. Okay, to signal the comparison, you might see words like to, like, as, similar to, and in the same way. Now we've learned about compare and contrast before, so you should know by now that comparison is to compare something that is similar. Now let's have a look at example. My brother is enthralled by birds similar to the way I am fascinated by insects. So now I'm comparing my brother, obsession or enthralled, that is the bombastic word, that is the unfamiliar word that we don't know the meaning about. But I can know that that is the meaning because I'm comparing with the way that I am fascinated. So the word fascinated here is compared to the word enthralled. So it basically means the same thing over here. Do you see what it does over here? All right, let's move to the next one, that is by providing examples. So sometimes you might encounter unfamiliar words, but you will be able to know the meaning of the word because you can have or you can read the examples. So some of the linguistic clues or the words that you might need to look for are words like for instance, such as, for example. So these words could be the signals to these examples. Let's have a look at example. So archaeologists found different amulets. So amulets over here could be the unfamiliar word, such as rabbit foot, bags of herbs near the ancient altar. So we're providing some samples or examples of amulets. So we can say that a rabbit's foot could be an amulet, and also bags of herbs could also be an amulet as well. Okay, so sometimes even if you do not know what it means by the word, but you'll be able to know that it means or it could indicate the meaning by looking at the examples of the words that is given over here, just like the example over here. Now we have lists or series. Now, sometimes if you want to make people understand what you mean by certain words, or if you read a book and you don't know what it means, sometimes the author or the writer might give you an idea by providing a series or a list. Okay, so let me give you an example over here. North American predators include grizzly bears, pumas, wolves, and also foxes. So predators over here, predators could mean a lot of things, but you're giving it some series or some list of what could be North American predators. So we can have bears, we can have pumas, we can have wolves, and we can even have foxes. So sometimes what you want to classify a thing could be based on a series or a list. Next, we have cause and effect. Now, cause and effect is when you want to show the relationship between ideas in the text. So let me give you an example. Due to lack of termites, the adverb starved to death. So now we're seeing a cause and effect relationship going on over here. So we can see that adverb is a type of animal or a type of living thing because it's starved to death. And it's a living thing, very obviously. So you see that adverb would need termites to live because adverb eat termites. Why? Because when termite is low, it means that the aardvark would have to starve to death because it does not have any food. So do you see the cause and effect over here? You might not know how an aardvark looks like or how does a termite looks like, but you know that there is a cycle going on there. You know, or you can see the cause and effect going on in the sentence itself. Okay? The last one we have over here is description or interference. Now, this is when you have a familiar word that could be inferred from a description of a situation or even an example or, sorry, an experience. So here, the monkey's vociferous chatter made me wish I have an earplug. So here we understand the description that I made that is underlined over here. I say made me wish I have earplugs. So here the word vociferous basically means that it's very loud and very chatty and very loud basically because I would need an earplug because it's too loud. So basically you'll be able to understand the meaning of the word by looking at the description or the inferences that it had after or following of the word itself. Okay? So basically, okay, you have learned 8 different ways or 8 different context clues. Now, what I want you guys to do now is I want you guys to practice. I'm going to show you guys 6 different um, sentences, and I want you guys to guess the meaning of the sentence itself. Now, the first one we have here, the archaeologists carefully removed the tomb from its ancient resting proceeded to read the pages related to marriage in ancient Greece. What does the word home probably mean? Is it A, pen, B, weapon, C, book, and D, sausage? Please do go to week 11, go to the context clues link, and I need you to type your answer in there. Question number 2. The Navajo language is an unwritten language of extreme complexity with no alphabet or symbols, and it is spoken in the lands of Navajo Nation in American Southwest. During World War II, a Navajo code was created for the U.S. Navy. This code was virtually undescribable to anyone except for Navajo speaking persons. What does the word virtually probably mean? Is it A, pleasant, B, almost, C, never, and D, always? Now, please remember, I don't want you guys to go into your dictionary or go to your phone and Google things. I want you guys to try and guess the meaning just by looking at the clues in the sentence itself. Okay, question number 3. Lakes occupy less than 2% of the Earth's surface, yet they help to sustain life. For instance, Lake gives us fish to eat, irrigate crops, and generate electrical power. What does the word sustain probably mean? Is it A, support, B, obstruct, C, prolong, and D, destroy? Which one? Question number 4. The ancient Greeks pioneered many of the kinds of writing we consider standard today. They spoke speeches, plays, poems, books, and science and learning, long histories of the things that happened to them. What does the word pioneered probably mean? Is it A, complicated, B, developed, C, destroyed, and D, explored? Which one? Question 5. 55 mostly prominent male delegates attended Philadelphia Convention in 1787. About 75% of the delegate has served the Congress, and others were important people in their home states. These men are often referred as the framers of the Constitution. What does the word prominent probably mean? Is it A, unimportant, B, unknown, C, common, and D, important? The final question that we have here, bats that eat fruits and nectar, spread seeds, and help flowers grow. Without bats, many important plants will not thrive. What does the word thrive probably mean? Is it A, flourish? Is it B, die? Is it C, wither? Or D, deteriorate? All right, so I have given you guys 6 different questions, and I need you guys to answer these without looking at dictionary. This is on you guys, okay? Without looking at dictionary or without googling any of the meanings. Just 6 questions, guys, and I want you guys to upload the answers in Blackboard. Okay, so please remember to complete listening to this recording. This is a very short recording, and try to answer the 6 questions. If you do both things, you can get your name taken for your attendance in week 11. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.